Hello, I am back for the 12 Days of Christmas, excerpt number 10. And I am going to be reading from A House Call for the Holidays, and it features my grand dog, Dr. Avery. And I've read this before, and the only reason why I'm reading this again is because it's part of the 12 Days of Christmas. So, very short book, very short chapters. So I may read two chapters. So here we go. 99 cents. Okay. Sawyer Kahill rubbed his face in irritation as he grabbed his phone and tapped the name in his directory. Last summer, he relocated to Raleigh, North Carolina from St. Louis for a better career opportunity and a reboot on his personal life. His elderly great aunt, Edith Watkins, didn't see the need to change that much scenery. Her concession was moving from the family home in St. Louis City to a semi-retirement community in the burbs. Unacceptable. At 80 years old, Aunt Edith had no business living alone when her great nephew could provide for her needs in a warm climate all year round. Although her new location was a mix of families, retirees, and working professionals, she would have neighbors, but Aunt Edith didn't know any of them. A weekly check-in call became the norm. Hello? Hey, Aunt Edith, how you doing? Despite her stubbornness, Sawyer loved her dearly. You missed calling me yesterday, so I can't talk now. Dr. Avery is at the door with his nurse. Call me back. Click. Who? What? He stared at his phone. Sawyer handled all her affairs, financial and medical. He didn't authorize home visits or recall a Dr. Avery on file as her provider for care. Was something wrong with his aunt? Auntie all right, bro? His longtime friend and colleague at Lindo Hickman Enterprise, Vincent Shaw, strolled into Sawyer's workplace. The two were the IT department that investigated threats and maintained cybersecurity for dozens of Fortune 500 companies. Huh? Sawyer didn't realize his expression revealed his bewildered thoughts. Vincent rested his manila folder on his desk, adjusted his multicolored striped tie, then took a seat. Since their cubicles were back to back whenever they decided to meet in the office, Vincent wheeled his chair to bump up against Sawyer's desk and hissed. Told you to call her yesterday, man? His deep voice taunted Sawyer. Leaning back in his chair, Sawyer exhaled, then sat straight again. The two of them had driven to Charlotte for the weekend for a good time. It was late when they returned, and Sawyer was exhausted. Can I help it? That I crashed on the sofa and woke up too late to call her? I wouldn't worry so much about Aunt Edith if she had moved here. It's not like she had any family there. Her few friends were in senior facilities. Vincent twisted his lips and thought, you're a brave man to leave her like that. You didn't have to relocate from St. Louis. I get you switched companies, but when the opening came here, I told you it was a remote position with occasional travel. I happen to like working in an office or something like that. Sawyer snarled before he snapped. I needed a change. You know that. I could have moved to Alaska, but I didn't know anyone. He attempted some humor, then huffed. I wish she had come, but her choice was to stay. I call every week. I make a trip to check on her every month, 6 weeks tops. So lay off the guilt trip. Holding up his hands, Vincent moved his chair a few inches to put space between them. Okay, man, no offense. You're doing better than some who put their older relatives in facilities and throw away the keys. What has Aunt Edith done now? Some man calling himself a doctor is making house calls and she ain't sick. He scratched his jaw. He hadn't decided if this new girl for a beer was worth his frustration. Should you be concerned? Because now I am, Vincent stated. We're swamped with projects, but still, I'll fly up there this weekend. In the meantime, Sawyer planned to call the sheriff and request a wellness check. Chapter 2. It was official. Charity McCall was all set. She had signed off on the paperwork to transition from an RN stationed at a local St. Louis hospital to a traveling nurse anywhere. Who wouldn't want to spend Christmas on the beach in California or Florida? That might not happen. Monica Dodd, her recruiter at Secure Health Staffing, the traveling nurse agency, advised those states had the most demand among traveling RNs. My job is to get you the highest pay, the best perks, and comfortable housing, Monica had said. I can't guarantee the location, though. The agency had assisted with her license application in multiple states in her cardiology specialty and labor and delivery. Okay, but nothing in Alaska or New York. Monica laughed. That I can do. 2 days later, her recruiter called back and offered Charity positions in labor and delivery in Raleigh or cardiology in Upper New York. The Tar Heel State was the winner. The 13-week assignment would take her into the new year, away for the holidays. Perfect. Holidays weren't kind when Charity didn't have a family. Parents gone. As an only child. A lousy breakup before Christmas. What could there be to celebrate? She thought she found it with Michael King, her ex. They had seriously dated for 2 years. Charity thought he understood her wanting to create warm holiday memories with him and his parents since she had lost both of hers. Charity's life was perfect with Michael until it wasn't. Their breakup had been devastating. She reflected on the past as she relaxed on her sofa with her TV on, but not watching it. Who breaks up with his girlfriend before the holidays? She had asked her longtime friend, also an RN who worked the night shift at the hospital. Deborah rolled her eyes. A loser who doesn't want to include you on his Christmas list. Charity, you can do better. You're beautiful, successful, and single around the holidays. Charity accepted her fate in life would be without any family. Thanksgiving and Christmas were the worst. Years ago, Charity sought therapy for her depression. Then one Sunday morning, as she left work, her car radio came to life with a sermon. The preacher didn't demand she attend church, but to read her Bible. Determined to live life to the fullest, Charity joined a single ladies traveling group for their Christmas adventures to Europe, Hawaii, and other exotic places. When her traveling group disbanded, Charity decided to take her nursing skills on the road and see the world. Deborah thought that was a drastic way to combat loneliness, and suggested adopting a pet. Charity did just that. Her petite Goldendoodle was a Christmas present of sorts. Charity had walked inside an animal shelter behind a woman and her dog. I'm sorry, miss, the shelter is only taking strays, the worker had said in a nonchalant tone. The woman, who appeared younger than Charity, looked at the pet, who didn't wag his tail or offer sloppy licks or affection, then back at the intake worker. I don't know this dog. I'll take him, Charity said without thought. And the woman dumped him in her arms. The stray became Dr. Avery, which was appropriate because it was love at first sight, and he had healed her broken heart. You want more? Make sure you pick up your copy, 99 cents. House Calls for the Holidays by Pat Simmons. Subscribe to my channel so whenever I have a new video, you'll be the first to know. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes because I have to do excerpt of 11. Bye.